Welcome everybody. Beautiful April day out there.
Compared to yesterday?
Today is April the 11th, 2016, and this is the regular meeting of the Leonard Council. I would like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us and guide the decisions that the council will make in regards to the village of Leonard. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have a roll call for attendance of the village council?
President McDonald?
Here.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Here.
Mr. Amaranti?
Here.
Mr. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Noaker?
Mr. Noaker contacted me. Please note for the record that both Clerk Cindy Grosskopf and Treasurer Judy Burris are present. Council has before it the minutes of our regular meeting held March 14th. Are there any questions, changes, corrections? If not, a motion to approve the minutes would be in order.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 14th meeting.
Motion and support. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say no. Okay, council has before it a proposed agenda. We need to add one number to the new business. We have a mental health resolution as well.
I thought that was mine.
Are there any other additions? If none, a motion to approve the agenda would be in order.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as added to.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Council has before it a copy of the treasurer's report for the month of March. Are there any questions? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, for the month. Are there any questions, changes, corrections? If none, motion to receive and file the report will be in order.
I'll make a motion.
To receive and file the treasurer's report.
Thank you.
Well, you're gonna have to get back to practice.
Yeah, I know.
You can do the next.
Okay, are there any questions on the motion? We have a roll call, please.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Amaranti?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the accounts payable. You should have before you the bills from the month of March and the amounts for each budget category, general, and local. There are no questions, changes, or corrections, or a motion to pay the bills will be in order in the amount shown.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Gotta read the amounts.
Yes. $8,793.60 in the general fund, $3,059.97 in the major, and $43.50 in the local.
Who supported that?
Sure.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call to pay the bills?
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Amaranti?
Yes.
Okay, at this time, the village council will hear public comment. If you have anything that you'd like to bring to the attention of the council, now would be the time to do it. We ask that you be brief and to the point, and we recognize that if you are here for an agenda item, that you will have an opportunity to address the council at that time. Anybody care to address the council?
Look at me. I'm just here viewing. I'm keeping you honest.
So far, you're just here viewing. Okay.
Come on, like Pepe.
Okay.
I'm watching Paul, seeing how fast. It was the police truck that did it to me.
Okay, hearing no comment, we'll move on to new business. I received a request from the fire department asking if they could store the 49er in the annex building, the old fire hall, for a period of 6 months. Where they have it stored now, it's in a private pole barn, and I think it's a member of the department, and they need the space in the barn. So they're just looking for an interim place to store it. I talked to Don about it. He said he could make room. They're not going to be working on it, so there shouldn't be. And they are aware that they have to get it out of there for Strawberry Festival, but unless you have another question or something, I told them I would pass it along to the village council.
Does the library need to move their table for the radio?
We would probably take care of it.
I don't think there's a lot on it.
Right, and spaces, we didn't say to anybody, you can put your stuff here, this is your spot, and we can move things around, I assume. So is there
any responsibility for the building?
well, we have insurance.
Well, I know we do, but they should have insurance too.
Okay. I will make a point of making sure that they have coverage.
Can I store some of my stuff in it? Actually, the grandkids stuff. It's coming to your house.
I got enough in my house.
Come on, anybody. So are you looking for a motion?
Yeah, I think so. That way it's all legal, and if there were a problem,
I make a motion that we allow the fire department to store the 49er in the annex for a period of 6 months or as long as, I guess as long as they need.
let's give them a
6 months?
term, so
Okay.
that there's an understanding that this isn't an open-ended deal.
Okay, so they'd have to come back if they needed longer?
Right,
Okay,
right.
6 months.
I'll support.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. The next item is an annual event, and that's the Oakland County Fair Housing Month resolution, having declared April to be Fair Housing Month. They gave us the same resolution that we've heard before, essentially. Unless the council wishes it read, I think we can just proceed to approve the resolution as submitted. Or I could read it. Is that what the council wants? It's not a long one. Yeah. Fair Housing Month in Oakland County. Month of April 2016 marks the 48th anniversary of the signing of the Federal Fair Housing Law under the Civil Rights Act. And whereas this landmark law, along with other federal and state legislation, broadens access to housing regardless of race, color, sex, national origin, age, marital status, religion, disability, or family status. And whereas Fair Housing Month is designed to heighten people's awareness of their rights under the law when pursuing the purchase of or rental of housing. And whereas the housing counselors of Oakland County's Community and Home Improvement Division are experts in fair housing laws and are ready to assist any individual or family to ensure their rights when purchasing or renting a home. And that, now let it be known that L. Brooks Patterson, Oakland County Executive, does hereby authorize the issuance of a special proclamation designating April of 2016 as Fair Housing Month in Oakland County. The motion to approve the resolution recognizing April as Oakland County Fair Housing Month.
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Moving on to the next item. That is annual Oxford Addison Youth Assistance request for sponsorship funds. We received the communication the end of March asking us for our annual sponsorship of $300 for Oxford Addison Youth Assistance. My recommendation, we did budget for it. My recommendation is that we release the funds.
We did last year, yes.
Mr. Huffman made the motion, so that we will support. Are there any questions on the motion? We have a roll call, please.
Mr. Amarante?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes. Finally, under new business is another proclamation from Community Mental Health Authority in Oakland County declaring Mental Health Month as May of 2016. So once again, this is a similar resolution that we've passed in the past. Does council want to read it? Or do we want to waive the reading and approve the resolution to declare May the Mental Health Month in Oakland County?
I'll make,
Second motion.
That's my motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Okay, motion to waive the reading and adopt the resolution declaring May as Mental Health Month. Could we have, I'll ask for a voice vote. All in favor of adopting the resolution, please say aye.
aye.
Opposed, please say no. All right, moving on to old business. Two items on it, kind of not directly connected, but both street related. Elmwood Street construction update. Without getting too deeply into the financials of it, I'd like to give a brief overview. I've met with the engineers twice. Judy and I have met and worked through a budget scenarios on how the village would and could afford to do it. And I'm at this point not saying we should go forward and do it because there's still a couple of maybes. I've been in touch with the Michigan Department of Transportation Financial Authority, trying to get some clarification on funding distribution. 2 years ago, the legislature changed the funding and added money to the Act 51 formula for eligible communities. I haven't been able to, it doesn't start until next year though. The additional money doesn't start flowing, and I wanted to make sure before we made any kind of commitment that the legislature isn't going to renege, or is that a possibility even, that for some reason this extra money wouldn't be coming in. If the money is in place from the state, we would be in good enough shape, I think, to recommend proceeding. But barring that, we would really we'd probably have to have a special budget meeting and try and figure out. It's not as easy as it was for us when we did Forest Street because we didn't have any debt back then. We do have the debt, eight more years. How many more years do where are we in our schedule?
We have 8 more years.
Yeah, 8 more years of payments for the Forest Street project. And we're looking at an overlap of 7 years, which would make double the amount each of those years.
That's 9 years, 8 over.
Fortunately or unfortunately, the legislature in its infinite wisdom picked 2017 as the year for additional funding for transportation, but it goes from 2017 through 2021, which would cover us for just about all of that overlap. And then who's to say that it wouldn't go beyond that, but that's That's not covered at this time, and that's why I need to talk to the financial authority. But there have been some changes. One of the changes is that given they did do the corings, and we haven't got the official results back, but they basically said that to do what we did on Elmwood Street like we did on Forest, and that was just take the top 3 inches off or 4 inches and repave. They said Elmwood is too bad. And the worst of it is actually from the Forest intersection east, but because of the stores and the intersection at Whitehead Street, I'm recommending that we try and go from Whitehead east rather than try to do all of Elmwood Street. Most of Elmwood on the west end it's passable. You know, it's going to hold up better than what we're seeing here. And it's going to get pounded this summer with the closure of Rochester Road. I mean, this is the detour route, so as bad as it is now, it's not going to get any better.
Where's
So-
Rochester Road closing?
Right here.
North of town.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's closing right at the intersection, and then Gersten will be local traffic only from here to Gersten. That's the next item. So the first thing is the scope of the project is from the Whitehead now to the village limit on the east side. Also, we discussed the MDOT will not pay for parking space paving. They will only pay for the street, the lanes, and the aprons, which will mean that the money that we would have to pay for the paving in front of the post office, in front of the stores, Roland Hall, that, let's call it a car maybe 30-foot wide. If you put it all together, 30 feet wide by a couple hundred feet long of paving. Now, the engineering, MDOT will probably let us slide on that. You know, we won't have to break out the cost for designing that area. But they will not pay for paving materials or any of the related work that goes into that. And although they don't have a problem with us doing it in conjunction with the job, the same cannot be said for East Street and Division Street. Two factors come into play with that, with doing East or Division Street. One is that if it's an MDOT project, we have to pay prevailing wages, etc., which means that the price goes real high. Our engineers advised me that that road could be done as a local road project because we can't get county funds for it anyways, and do it a lot cheaper than trying to do it in conjunction with. In other words, there is no savings to us because they're already here. Why couldn't they just do that road, repave it or curb it or fix it or whatever we want to do? So they're suggesting that the only practical way to do that road is to do it separately at some other time. And he said, given the conditions of that road, it wouldn't need a full engineering plan and everything like they do with MDOT. So he said that's just not practical at this time. Now, we did get a little bit of a windfall. I was contacted by the road commission, and the federal funds have gone up considerably from, they were at 423,000. They've gone down from 523,000 for the MDOT share of our project. It had gone down to, I think, 476,000. Now it's back up to 517,000, which we still have to match, 20% match, but it's more money to do more with. So, assuming that we proceed. Let's see what else.
Even if we do a little bit of maintenance on that Division East Street for now, because you've got one hole there from the school and or Joint Road
fix it until it starts to dry up and warm up.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure Don's aware of it, and I'll talk to
Do you
him.
think it's bad? Division of East, do you think it's that bad? Is
That
it
one
okay?
spot that's right in front of Dwayne's house.
Yeah,
If you look at the gravel, the blacktop right there, it's not there.
that's a spot.
But the whole road needs to be tightened up a little bit before it gets worse. And that's just a gravel, pea stone, tar.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad though.
Well, it started to break away sometimes. And there are spots on it that it needs a little bit TLC.
Don't, yeah, I mean,
I mean, that one's already blacktop. Do we want to let that one go like the rest of them? And
Yeah.
just make it gravel
You
again?
know, Mike,
We could.
yes, that's exactly how I feel because these roads do not hold up. The
Right.
money you pay for them, they fall apart.
well, and that's why, that was the other point, is if there's less money, if we cannot afford to do
That's how I
the
feel.
job right, I'm of a mind to not do
Okay.
it. It sounds crazy, but look at Forest Street. I mean, 4 years after the fact, and it's starting to crack, it's been cracking, and we're chasing, we're sealing it as fast as we're able, and you have to, because if you don't seal them, it gets worse faster. But that's why on Elmwood Street, we're looking at doing what they call a crush and fill, where they take the whole road bed up, they grind the whole road bed, kind of like they did in Lapeer a while back. They crush, they go right down to the base, they fix the base, then they lay the asphalt millings right back over the top, and then they build a new road over the top of the asphalt millings. And that way they get rid of those cracks that they call them mirror cracks, because the cracks that are already in the road underneath the new pavement, that's where all the cracks restart to reappear. We're still going to get those because any asphalt road in Michigan will, because of the freeze-thaw cycles, but we won't get as many or the same ones that we're constantly fighting right now.
Seems to me the last time they redid Elmwood East, they did that. And look how terrible it is there by the church.
No, it was only a surface. They just blacktopped the surface, yeah.
They didn't even
Yeah. They didn't do any, they just,
didn't even,
Right.
In fact, I remember the last time
They
we
just
did
laid it.
Phyllis, you remember, the road was so high, you could fall off getting out of your driveway.
Yeah.
It was like a 3-inch step, it was ridiculous. They had to fill both sides of the road with, 60/40 or whatever.
21 double A.
Yeah, 21 double A to make it safe, it's ridiculous. So my point is that those are the major changes that we're looking at. And there will be some extra expense for the village because of the wide, the parking areas and potentially the intersections, because they're different kinds of intersections than we had when we went on Forest Street, where it bays and the private roads and North Street, because they were smaller and easier to accommodate. So
They're gonna fix any of the manholes or,
that one of my major concerns, and that's what the borings were all about, was to try and get an idea of the water situation under the road. So, okay, I gotta ask, what is this, Cindy?
What?
What, drainage?
But I'm laughing, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the manholes are like a bulb.
Yeah.
that one does.
So anyway, that is, and we've come full circle. There's no point doing this road only to have it fall apart because we couldn't get the right drainage, or we're not gonna do this. If all we're interested is throwing pavement down, it won't even work on this situation because the road is so bad. If you recap that, it won't last for a few years. They said that alligator, there's nothing holding it together. It'll still go away. So that's where I am right now. I did give you a current letter from Benzinski and Sons, and also the 2011 Comerica purchase when they bought our bond for comparison purposes. And you can see they're pretty, as far as rates and amounts, assuming that we do as well when we sell, or if we sell this year, the expenses are pretty much aligned. It's a little more expensive now. One of the reasons for that is that because we've committed a large percentage of our Act 51 money to the Forest Street bond, we don't have enough left over to offer the type of guarantee that a lot of investors like. So we will have to do a capital improvement municipal bond, which means that they might ask for a little more interest from us in order to get people interested in buying the bond, because it's not as secure, although we have a good credit rating, so it shouldn't be a problem. But those are the major points, and I will keep you apprised of information as it develops. Are there any questions from the council first, or thoughts on what we should be doing or not doing? I'll try and get more information and get it out to you. I have not gotten any fixed costs as far as I've seen projections for design engineering, which is what we had. Our previous engineer, we spent $40,000 for the road plans alone. It looks like these are going to be more expensive because we're doing a lot more with the parking and the width of the road, etc. Plus doing in front of the stores, the drainage and all that. So they're bandying around figures between $40,000 and $55,000, and that is not set in stone yet. The money from MDOT, we know what that is. Right now, that's $517,000. That makes our match to be about $120,000, which leaves us about $30,000 to pay for the bond issue, the financial assistance, and some of the incidental paving that we're going to have to cover, and possibly some of the design engineering. I have a request in to do as we did with Forest Street, and that is that we will pay for the construction engineering out of the MDOT money, which they do allow, but we have to ask them to do that. But that does cut into the amount of money available for the actual construction. And that's why the project has been narrowed down in scope. Instead of being a full mile, it's a little more than a half mile, because we've got to concentrate it on the worst part of it. That's the plan that I developed for doing this.
And the worst part is less than that, though, right? It'd be like from maybe Malaya's house on to the to the end of town. I mean, that's where some of the biggest broken up areas are.
The worst part is just from Division Street down.
Right.
The thing is that
It's terrible.
the construction setup and all that, for us to bring in a hammer mill to only do three pieces 500 feet long,
Right.
it's not cost effective. It's better for them to come in and spend a day and a half doing it and then get out than it is for us to bring them in and then move their equipment, etc. So it's not set in stone by any means, but I just wanted to give you an overview of some of the changes that we had to look at. Okay. Moving on to the Rochester Forest Street closure, as we've already touched on. It looks like it's going to be mid-June when they start construction. At least that's what the Road Commission anticipates. The detour route will be Elmwood Street to Secord Lake Road to Borden Road, and then back to Rochester Road. And if that's going to the north. Coming to the south, it's going to be Boardman Road to Secord Lake Road to Leonard Road, back across Elmwood to Rochester Road south. They couldn't use Hagerman Road because there's a culvert underneath it that is too old and won't stand up. They're afraid it will collapse, and so they opted to go to Secord Lake Road, which made some people very happy.
Yeah.
That live in the area.
And very sad.
Beyond that, on Strawberry Festival Day, the detour will be Frick Road to Hagerman Road to Leonard Road to Secord Lake Road and vice versa for that. And they will put up signage for that as well. And
How long is that supposed to be?
From June through mid-November.
Oh, wow.
It's never good when the road commission has to replace under road culverts and that.
Right.
That seems to just stop the program. I don't know why that is. That's what happened in Rochester on Tinkin Road. We had to do 2 culverts under the road there. It was like 2 years they had that road closed.
Are all the laws the same in Michigan? As far as road, because up north, done snap. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Are they the same or is it different or?
No.
I think volume of traffic has one thing to do with it. And you have a lot more traffic now too.
Oh, I don't know, I've seen some of the roads that are traveled pretty good up there, done in a flash.
Well, a lot of times they'll do an overlay. If a road isn't too old and you have a lot of overlays over it, you can get away with it. If it's got a good base, if it's gravel or sandy soil. Yeah, I mean, that's wonderful because that's the worst thing for roads is they have water. And what do we have? We got water. So we pay the price every time we do this. Okay, so moving on to DPW. I wanted to bring it to the council. As you know, we don't have a trailer or a dedicated DPW truck, and as a result, Don Irwin very generously uses his truck. Of course, we reimburse him for mileage, gas costs basically, but he's often hauling equipment, the village tractors, lumber, and whatever else we need to get sidewalks and whatever. Bottom line is that Don's truck suspension broke down, and I'd like to at least be able to offset some of the cost and reimburse him for a portion of the repairs, because we're not going to buy a truck. I mean, I don't want it would be a luxury for the village to have a dedicated truck. And then you have the problem, where do you store it? Who's going to take care of it? So as long as Don is willing to use his own truck to help us out, I'd like to ask the council's support to offset some of the repair costs so that he doesn't have to, because some of it isn't from using it for us. So whatever the council thinks fair, I'd like to be able to offer that to Don as well.
Do we know how much money we're looking at?
The last time he had the similar repairs done, it was around, I think, $250 to a shackle and a rear spring, suspension
I
parts,
don't think we
basically.
can cover that.
The whole
The
thing.
whole thing.
Well, I think we should have an upper limit and say we'll cover up to an amount, a dollar amount.
Well,
$300, not more than 3.
I was just going to say that.
I'm okay with that. I'm not sure what category of the budget we would pull that from, but I think.
I don't even know if we can. I'll have to check with the auditor to see if it's legal to do it.
Yeah. I think it will be. It's just a matter of, it's like,
He'll tell me what account we can pull it out of too, if it's a go. Or if we need to set a new one up just for that.
right. So I think we'd be getting off pretty good if that's all it is. So. Okay, is there any questions from the council? Any questions from our guests?
Don't laugh, you're
Okay.
sick.
Okay.
Approved.
I'm motion then to allocate an amount of $300, not to exceed $300 for reimbursement for repairs on the DPW manager's truck if needed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
Shar, Larry? Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, please?
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Amoranti?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Okay. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the meeting, President's report. There were no Freedom of Information Act requests. I received no new block grant requests. Ordinance enforcement, I still have one active ordinance enforcement, and now with the weather improving, I am promising results. I guarantee what kind of results I'm going to try.
Probably shouldn't come on.
Yeah, I hear you. And then I've got kind of a calendar here that you may want to make some notes on. On April 14th, there's going to be a meeting here at Rowland Hall to discuss the mill and possibly get a support group together. That's going to be at 6:30. And then on April 23rd, there's a work day at the mill starting at 9 a.m. And then, yeah. And we expect to have heavy equipment and at least one large dumpster there to try and get everything done that we can. And then April 28th, there is the Township Open House. And I'm not sure what time that is. Is it on the card?
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Looks nice by the pictures.
It looks nice up close too.
It looks nice.
And then Christmas in Action, we're doing 4 homes this year. One of them is in Addison Township on McQuinder. That's April 30th, that's a Saturday. And if you're interested in helping out or know somebody that wants to, they can contact me or check out the Christmas in Action website. And then on April 30th, there is a no as well, that's also on the 30th. There's a no-haz drop-off at Oxford Middle School from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now that's $10 if you're an Addison Township or Leonard resident. So
I have the forms upstairs that they need.
And then May 7th, the following Saturday, is the township cleanup. So if you have debris and stuff that you want to get rid of down at the township, they'll have dumpsters. They usually have a dumpster for tires. They usually have a dumpster for appliances. But if you have an appliance with refrigerant, you have to pay them extra because they have to get it taken care of properly. So that's the calendar for April and part of May. And I have nothing else on that.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said something about what's upstairs for the hazmat?
There's an application that you have to fill out.
Oh, we do?
Well, there's a form you fill out with an address on.
Last year, filled nothing out.
No, the township you don't have to fill out. The hazmat, you've always had to fill out an application.
No.
You have to pay $10, right, for no haz?
Yeah,
Right.
we did 10, but we didn't have to fill anything out.
Well,
I think they probably looked at our license.
Yeah, that may be. They've got a
That's why I
form.
questioned it.
They have a form now. Maybe when you just pull up, they don't ask you to fill it out, but it is online as well. I don't remember what's on it. It's just, I think it's just name and
Basic
stuff.
information.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the point is. Okay, moving on to the trustee committee reports. Summer Festival Committee, Phyllis?
Had a meeting, everything's going good.
Okay. Cable Commission, Shar.
They're contemplating moving the meetings back to the village in Oxford instead of moving them around. I thought it was nice that they moved them around, but nobody came anyway, so I guess it doesn't make any difference. But I believe from now on they will be at the village. And there's still the issue of paying money back to the commission, and we do not pay a full amount mainly because we weren't getting a whole lot of service. We are getting better service. And if people don't know, if you get your bill, and your bill, you do not have TV, but you have internet or phone through them, they cannot charge you franchise fees. So check your billing, because now mine was overbilled significantly, and I did call and get it taken care of. So just kind of watch, because it's new for them too. But if you do not have TV and you are getting service from Charter, they cannot charge you franchise fees.
So the internet and telephone fees aren't.
They're not franchise.
That's right.
Okay?
So they'll provide internet service
That's
for the whole village,
The whole village has it now if you want.
even when we're
While
on.
you were gone.
Okay.
All down the street.
It's,
Yeah, they put up fiber.
well, I know they made me get a box for my television for 10 bucks a
We had
month,
two.
which, yeah.
That's because they went to fiber optic. That's all.
I didn't want that. I liked my
Yeah.
TV the way it was.
But if you do call them for service, make sure that they offer you a package. Because if you don't ask for it, they won't get it.
Okay.
Under the heading, I guess, of better late than never, I was informed that Uverse is expanding to the east side of the railroad tracks. I was grateful, but not as grateful as I would have been 8 years ago if they had said that. And because they've got competition now, so. But supposedly there will be some choices over there.
You'll like the internet call if you go with it.
Oh, yeah,
Judy, I don't know if you use it, but I know Judy does.
right.
I don't know who you
You
have.
can't beat the price right now.
The
Yeah.
price
It's
is
30 bucks.
ridiculous.
30 bucks for each service for a year.
It's supposed to be a better,
For a year? Okay. Cindy, everybody got different
I know,
offers.
yeah.
Because I called, I didn't even get a package. I'm sorry. Yeah, me
It's
too.
supposed
What did you get, Cindy? 3 years?
We didn't have any of it. I think if you already have some of it, you're not gonna get, you get a year probably.
Well, I don't know.
What he told me was if you had Uverse, they only gave you a year. If you didn't have Uverse, did you have Uverse?
No.
If you didn't have Uverse, they gave you a 3-year guarantee.
That's charter.
Yeah.
That's Charter. And if you go through a salesman, instead of calling Charter, you get it cheaper.
Are
I
you
have
a
a salesman's card if you'd like his number. You want?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
When I called,
Email me it now.
when I called, I did not get a very good package, and I said, forget it, I can't do it. When that guy knocked on my door, he gave me a lot better package.
They begged us.
Oh yeah, he was begging me too. He was sitting right on my couch begging.
Huh, I missed
And
it.
I just kept saying, you know where that bill is, and I'll go with it.
Search and write.
Well, remember, you heard it here first. Okay. Okay, decorating committee? Nothing new. Planning commission? I know, Mike's holding the show up, but
It's okay.
I am working on it.
I know,
I get that.
yeah, we haven't had a meeting yet. I know you're busy, I'm busy. I don't think we'll get it in before next Thursday, do you?
Okay. Probably not. Well, only if we print what we've got now, and that's, we can probably stand to make some more improvements on that.
Yeah. I think we need to print what we have
This
right
month
now.
is a crazy month.
It is, for me too, so should we just cancel it again and do it in June or May?
Yeah, but I think I would prefer,
Then that'll give us a chance, maybe the first or second week of May, we can
Yeah.
print that and you and I sit down and go over it.
we'll print something.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion to cancel the regular planning commission meeting for April.
I'll make a motion to cancel.
For support. All in favor of the motion to cancel the planning commission meeting for April, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, Pollyman Trail, just a heads up, I've been in touch with, it looks like June 4th is going to be the equestrian event. Oh, you're gonna have a bunch of horses in your front yard.
Yeah,
Um,
fits right in with the chickens.
The,
What?
I've been in touch
You don't like my
with
chickens?
Oh, no, I love them.
the Cooper Standard, for overflow parking, et cetera, and they're gonna get back to me, but, they're gonna have it at the trailhead and on the village, by the DPW there. They're gonna- The way they're talking, though, there will be a lot of, tow vehicles and trailers coming, so we're gonna have some extra space. And I'll be working with Don and with, the Pollyant Trail to
You should talk to Fred.
accommodate. Why?
Well, just to see, because one year they could put the horses in our one pasture, but the fence is kind of up. But he might,
Okay.
you
well,
should talk to him.
Okay, well, Don and the Wham crew were at the trailhead. If you haven't been there, you might want to take a swing through. They cleaned up the corral, cleaned up a lot of the brush along between the trailhead and the trail, and it's looking a lot better than it was. So let's hope for a successful event. Okay,
Okay, is that going to? I don't know what I'm just saying.
we're not closing the road.
No, I'm just concerned about the Pontiac Trail, period, out this way.
As far as,
Is it gonna remain coming this way?
What she's referring to is that I told her that the governor's initiative had
Oh, yeah.
changed.
Yeah, we're not part of, only a small portion, 2 miles of the Pollyant are part of the Iron Bell Trail. And that's the portion between Lake Orion and Oxford.
Okay.
But no, it won't affect us. It's affecting us now because there is no grant money available if it isn't going towards the Iron Bell Trail. There's funneling every,
But we will have a trail.
oh yeah, the
And
trail,
it will occasionally be
Yeah.
taken care of.
yes,
Okay.
just as well as it ever is. Yeah, no, it's not going away, see, that's.
Okay, I was concerned about that.
It's too-
So
it's-
speeds.
It's between the website and the Facebook page, there are a lot of people that really support the trail. I've been really impressed. I've only been actively involved in it for the last 3 years or so, but people that use it really like it. I mean, I like it, but
There's a
I,
lot of use.
yeah,
And I was against it, but I use it
Yeah.
daily,
yeah.
every day.
It was a valuable resource that really was worth the effort to keep intact, not have it broken up.
Good, good, good.
So-
I hear that.
Okay. Main Street, Shar passed out some cards for the Royal Oak Music Theater on April 28th for the main event, recognizing excellence in Oakland County downtown revitalization. That'll be Leonard Sunday. God knows. Okay. Village Park, we have a park meeting tomorrow, 7, right, Mike? Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday, yeah. Tomorrow's not Wednesday? Okay. All right. Wednesday. At 7 p.m. here at Roland Hall. Community Development Block Grant. I think everybody got their summary. And for NODA, finally, NODA appears to be poised on the verge of becoming an authority, which gives them taxation, enables them to be a taxing authority. I have posed the question to the NODA board, why are they doing this now when we just enacted millages? We got a 5-year millage, I think it was, 4 or 5-year millage. And why are they doing this now? Or if they're doing it now, they should give a promise that they're not going to start trying to levy more taxes. So I'm trying to get the story, but I wanted to get the word out because I am concerned about it. I don't know if there's other advantages, and Doug isn't here tonight, so I guess we'll learn more later. Okay, that said, I have nothing further. Any of the council members have anything? Anybody else? A teasing.
Be honest, Mike, that's all.
Okay, if there's no other business to come before the council, can I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you for coming